Welcome to episode 2 of Figure It Out Garage. We're doing some steering. So last week we got what I hope is all of the ignition stuff figured out. Fired right up the other day. I'm not going to try to fire it up right now. I think I might try to get a couple other things done before it gets hot. And we're going to get started. The first thing we need to do is jack up the front end of this thing. I think I'm going to just, jack it up off the floor, put a couple jack stands down there for safety, and then I'm just going to kind of work from worst to best. I think the biggest thing is going to be the pitman arms, the idler arms, and the tie rod ends. That's what it is. So let's get this thing jacked up and get some work done. So in true Figure It Out Garage fashion, this pitman arm that was supposed to work doesn't work. Let me get you down here and let you check it out. So I haven't jacked up the truck yet, but this is either the pitman arm or the idler arm. Like I said, I can't remember which one is which, but this is splined here, and then this, I'm not sure if this is splined. The castle nut is up here, so maybe I could just try to take it apart at least and sort of see what's going on. If not, I think this is the kit that I have with all the bushings. So maybe the pitman arm is on the other side, and then this is the idler arm. I'm gonna try to figure it out. All right, so here we are over on the driver's side. A second ago we were on the passenger side. So can I flip this new one? Because if this came out the bottom, it would work. That also, this looks splined to me. The casting looks the same. I don't know if these can be flipped or not, but I'm gonna figure it out, I guess. All right. So there's a clip. I've never done this before, so if you're making fun of me, at least I'm out here trying to figure it out, So I'm gonna film me doing this and then probably turn it off. So I assume this is supposed to be filled with grease, and then I'm betting this is probably pressed in. I don't have any way to press it out other than a hammer. This doesn't look like it's coming out of here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was pressed in. So I'm kind of at a crossroads here. Let me try to get these clips off, and I'll bring you back in. All right, just as I suspected, I just figured I would check it out. But yeah, this actually came pre-greased from China, but I can't flip this, so I don't think this part does me any good. I got a few other parts that I can work on until I figure this out, so I'll pull you back in a minute. Did a bunch of accidental time lapses, but I'll catch you up. So this is the idler arm bracket. There are 2 bolts that go through the frame, and then a nut and a locking washer that hold this in place. This was connected with a castle nut. All the bushings are just totally gone. So we're gonna go ahead and rebuild this. So I've got instructions on how to do that. It all looks pretty straightforward. It's basically take it apart and put it back together with all the bushings in the correct spots. So there's about 1.5 inches of play in the steering. You might have been able to see it with the time lapse, not sure. But anyway, there's about 1.5 inches of play in the steering right now. I think this is probably going to take 1/2 inch out of that. So by the time we do this, on the tie rod ends, upper and lower ball joints, we should be ready to roll around. Alright, so I decided the easiest way to get this castle nut out off the top of the idler arm bracket is just going to be to stick this in a vise. I'm obviously not going to torque the shit out of it, but it'll just give me, kind of help me hold on to it. Yep, that was all there, but got it out. I'm going to take this apart, clean everything up the best I can, probably hit it with some brake clean. Whoa, here, check this out. All that used to be a bushing. Yeah, so, yeah. It hadn't just dry rotted, it had like dissipated into a fuzz. So I'm gonna try to get these, manual's calling them thrust washers, off the bottom. Trying to not poke myself. These are really stuck on here. Oh, there we go. So there's one. Just gotta get this one off. Sure, it would have been nice to just buy this as, you know, already put together, but I couldn't find it. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on that pitman arm. I have the tie rods, hopefully those are right. So I can do tie rods while we wait for that pitman arm to show up. So yeah, once I get this off here, hit it with some brake clean, hit it with some degreaser. Probably do the degreaser first. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grease up both of these shafts before I start putting it back together. Got some mean green degreaser in here. Go ahead and wipe this down. So you couldn't hear me because I accidentally did a time lapse, but I don't even remember how we got on the subject. But my very first vehicle was a 1989 Toyota Corolla station wagon. It was like that bluish silver color, and it was a 5-speed manual. I learned how to drive on it. It's probably, honestly, one of my favorite cars ever. I think it had the 6-cylinder in it. I don't know the nomenclature on that 6-cylinder. You know, they've all got like nicknames like 2FZ and 1UZ and all that. I don't know that, but it was the 6-cylinder. It was an 89. Like I said, I don't remember how I got on that subject, but I was like hearing what people's first cars were. I feel like that kind of determines, you know, whether or not you become a car person or not. Like, whether it was cool or it was, you know, it was a manual or it was kind of goofy. Mine was a wagon, and I just love that thing. I would honestly really like to have another one. So we're going to hit it with this with some brake clean. Got Speed Racer going by on his Harley Davidson. So, yeah. Get this cleaned up the rest of the way and then do the rebuild on it. The bracket is full of old grease, rock hard bushing, and it's gonna take me a minute. I didn't realize that this bushing, well, I realized that the bushing had basically collapsed on itself, but I didn't realize that it had turned into this weird bushing paste. So I got to figure out a good way to clean this thing out. That's not just this tiny little screwdriver. Yeah, so working on this. Maybe this is working. I'll hit it with some brake clean. Alright, I got a drill bit wrapped around some sandpaper. I got most of it out, but I thought about putting it in a drill, but it's actually coming out pretty easy now. And then I'll go ahead and clean up these mating surfaces. Hit it with some more brake clean. And then we'll be back in business.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
There is a grease zerk. So I have a box of metric ones. I'll see if one fits in here and then clean out this hole. Alright, I got my fittings here. I'm just going to use a pair of pliers on this. It's kind of loose already. Oh yeah, that hole is crusty with 40-year-old grease. Nothing some brake clean won't take care of. See if I have one of these fittings that fits. And yep, fits great. So that's good. All right, I gotta find some grease. Probably should clean up the mess, but I'll just wait. Okay, so following the instructions here. First thing is lower small thrust washer. He goes on here. Does he fit? Great, he doesn't fit. Cool. Does this one fit? This one fits. Oh, do I just gotta smash him on there? Really don't want to reuse that old one. I think I'm just gonna waller this out a little bit. Custom machining on some plastic. Is it stupid if it works? This plastic's pretty tough. I'm gonna put it in a vise. I know what you're thinking. Isn't the vise just gonna smash it? I don't know, maybe. Hi, babe. Sup? Alright, so I'm greasing this up. I'm sure I probably could over grease it, but I'd rather it have too much than not enough. I also think it'll kind of help hold everything back together when I reassemble it. My custom machining worked great. Fits perfect. So, all right. Then we've got lower small tapered bushing, which is this one. Fits perfect. Larger small tapered bushing. on this one. Fits perfect. And then we're doing the idler arm. Oh, and then this is like spline. I guess you would, hold on. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But there's like splines in there. I guess those are splines. So, gotta get those splines to match up. I don't know if you'd call those splines or not. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean this out a little bit. Those, I keep calling them splines, but they're filled with crap. So, gotta scrape those out with a screwdriver. So, scraping these grooves. I think they're grooves. They're not splines. They're grooves. So I'm cleaning out these grooves with a screwdriver. Try to put this bracket on. Yep. And I'd imagine this will all kind of squeeze together. So far, so good. The small end, I can't really do anything else until I get it back under the truck. But I think I can put this big chunky boy on here. Just gotta find those grooves again. Now, of course, I can't really see anything because there's a bunch of grease in there. Let's see. No. See if I can kind of stick it in there and spin it. Man, I can't see nothing. Okay. And then, yeah, there we go.
A great success!
So that's what we got so far. So I realized I can go ahead, I'm not going to torque it down, but I can go ahead and assemble this part. I want it to still be able to spin so I can situate it in there correctly. I think it goes like this. Boop. I'm gonna have to get some cotter pins from something else because this kit didn't come with any cotter pins and the old cotter pins were toast. So here's an interesting, I would say like 70% of the nuts and bolts on this truck are metric, but every now and then they'll throw you a standard. So I mean, it makes sense. It's like a half. It's kind of a Ford and kind of a Mazda. So I think that's tight enough for now. I'm gonna get back under the truck. I'll bring you guys in. We'll put it back together since taking it apart was accidentally a time lapse. All right, here we go. Pretty sure I did this right, but I probably didn't. So I guess we'll find out. Yeah, we're good. So there's that. I forgot to grab my cotter pins, so I will have to go back for that. Well, that bushing just cracked, so that's great. Oh yeah. Wow. I guess that's what happens when you buy new old stock bushings, but that bushing literally just collapsed into nothing. Oh, man. Well, hopefully this will still be better than it was. I don't know what else to say. I guess I'll try to find that one bushing. I mean, I wasn't even torqued or anything. I just stuck it in there and it caved in on itself. I'm just going to run it like this for now. I mean, it's better than it was, so that's about the most annoying thing ever. Old trucks are cool. So, alright, well, you guys probably heard it. It just broke. Like I didn't even push it, really. I mean, I barely pushed it like finger tight. And it just caved in on itself. So, I don't even know what to say about that. So, hopefully, we're not just, we're not on the exact same problem that we were just on. And if we are, we are. I'll just order another kit or try to find one of those bushings. I'll get this laced up, tightened up, get all the bolts tightened, and then maybe we'll try to take this thing on a drive and see how it drives, even though that bushing broke. Cool. Gotta figure out, gotta remember, I think this was a 17 millimeter, so, and then this is that weird, it's like 7/8 or something, I don't remember, but, gotta get something in there to tighten that up, gotta get something in here to tighten that up, stick some cotter pins in it, and very nice. So I don't have a ratcheting wrench that's a 17 millimeter, so we're just hand tightening. Hopefully this still does the thing even though the top bushing is missing. It's for sure going to be better than it was. Yeah, there's no wiggle wobble. So that's good. I don't want to torque it too much. That feels good. See if I can blindly find the cotter pin hole. Yep. Give it a little tappy tap. Oh, I should come in from the other side. Yeah, that's, well, yeah. Either way, it'll be annoying for different reasons. Change my mind. Going in this way. I think it's going to be harder to tap it than it is to bend it. These cotter pins might be too big. Nope. Give it the old bendy bend. Me and my wife are going to a concert tonight.
This is my wife.
We are going to go see one of our favorite bands, Lucero. I would honestly like to drive this, but I don't feel like driving it basically for the first time ever is at night is the best idea. So as much as I would like to do that, I'm not gonna do it. Doing the 1/8 of a turn shuffle here. Not even an eighth, like a, I don't know, a friggin' 32nd of a turn shuffle. Getting this cotter pin is going to be a nightmare too, because I'm not going to be able to see anything. I think this is going to take care of the majority of our problem, though. I guess next thing I should do is pull out this grease thing so I can actually grease this. Yeah, we'll do that next. Try to take this thing on a little drive and see how it feels. All right, I got that torqued down to the point that I can get a cotter pin in there. Only other thing I'd like to do is this, and then we'll try to take this thing on a drive. Having a real hard time getting this cotter pin in. As you can see, the fender well is like right there. It's long enough though that it's in there. I'm gonna just twist it up. I don't really love that. Try to remove this guy. Oh, he came right out. We'll try to clean him out, and then I'll try to grease both of these, and then I'll clean out the back and we'll take it on a drive. Alright, I think I got the right grease insert here in my little kit. Let's find out. It's probably dark. Yep, we fit. I'm gonna grease these up real quick. Well, that does literally nothing. Love that. It just wasn't on there all the way. Turn this one a little bit, if I can get in there. I really need a better grease gun, but I also need a lot of other things. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let this thing warm up. This is a true cold start, so I'm going to give it a couple pumps, trying to turn it over. I put a bag of tools in the back of the truck. I got to move my daily, and then we'll take this thing for a spin. Shifts good into second. Steering feels way better. I mean, there's still quite a bit of play in it, but it doesn't feel like the front end is gonna fall into 20 pieces. There's a little loop that me and my wife take the kids on walks a lot. I'm just gonna do that. All right, we're gonna turn around. Brakes feel all right. I definitely don't want to go over probably 40 miles an hour. That's a win for today. I'm about 140 on the water temp. I'd imagine, I don't know what the temp of the thermostat. I don't know when it. I'm gonna try to give it a little bit of onion here.
I need NOS. I need NOS.
A little wobbly at 45. All right, I think that's a great success for a couple hours on a Thursday.